This is gonna be a long video. Okay guys, so I asked you guys to ask me some questions to help celebrate reaching 100,000 subscribers, and boy did you guys ask questions. I'm gonna try and get through as many as I can, as quickly as I can. First question, Simone R asks, can this be your first question? Yes it can, Simone. Paige Pearson asks, how often do you mess up on a cupcake and do you get frustrated from it? I mess up all the time, Paige, and you guys see the nice side of Nick. You don't want to see me when a cupcake doesn't rise properly. Misfit Dan Nicole asks, what is your favorite macaron you've ever done and tasted? My favorite macaron that I've done is probably my passion fruit macarons. Favorite macaron I've ever had was one that I had in France from Pure Hermé. I hope I'm saying that right. It was a black truffle and hazelnut macaron. Katina Roman asks, would you ever consider making boozy adult cupcakes? Yes, Katina, I would. I've got something that I'm working on at the moment which is really exciting, and I have a boozy, naughty popcorn caramel cupcake on my channel. Galissa Wizard asks, hey Nick, do you like cheesecake? If so, do you prefer the baked one or the no baked? I do love cheesecake. I prefer, actually I don't really mind, baked or not baked. It's all cheesecake to me. Charlotte Allen asks, what is your favorite TV show in the world? P.S. Love you so much. Love you too, Charlotte. Favorite TV in the show in the world? It's a tie between The Simpsons and South Park. Lily Ferguson asks, what's your favorite ice cream flavor? I can't say no to mint choc chip, but also chocolate gelato, lemon gelato, together, get on it. I hope I'm saying this right. Keithana Palila, what's your favorite piping tip to use? It's a mix between Wilton 1M tip, which you get that nice little frilly, ribbony effect, and the Wilton 6B tip, which is like a nice French tip. Squad for Life asks, what's your favorite cupcake flavor you've ever made? Red velvet, hands down. Rachel Online asks, what are your essentials in the kitchen? I love your cupcakes. Smiley face. Thank you so much, Rachel. Essentials in the kitchen, top 3, spatula. You need lots and lots of mixing bowls, and I couldn't live without my magic whisk. Fatma Owls asks, who's your favorite YouTuber? Really, Fatma, how can I choose that? Here's some YouTubers I love. Laura Vitale, Elise from My Cupcake Addiction, Yolanda Gamp from How to Cake It, Rhett and Link, a whole bunch of other people. I've got a list on my website. Vanessa Adlemo asks, hi, I've always wondered who eats all of the cupcakes you make. I eat some cupcakes, I taste the cupcakes. You guys don't see that because I don't like eating on screen. I think it's weird. I give it away to family and friends. CR Tropical asks, why the Scran Line? So for those of you who are new to the channel, the Scran Line might be a little bit confusing or you don't know what it means. Basically, I was for a very short time in the Australian Navy. The Australian Navy has its own terminology for different things. Their word for food is scran. And when we used to line up in line for food, we used to line up in the Scran Line. Soy Shine asks, what was one of the first things you baked? I really can't remember, but one of the first cupcakes I baked was this really horrible attempt at St. Patrick's Day cupcakes. Chiara Alejandra Rojas Echeverri, I hope I'm saying that right, I probably am not. Hello from Colombia, could you say something in Spanish? Besos. Hola Alejandra, I think that's Spanish. Katie Bowie asks, can you make something raspberry? Katie, I have a lot of raspberry flavors on my channel. Go check out my library of videos if you haven't already. Sincerely Eccentrics asks, where do you get your ideas for new cupcakes? I get ideas from all different kinds of places. Colors, Beyonce. Shapes, Beyonce. Music, Beyonce. Basically lots of different places. Tacos Rule the School, awesome username by the way, asks, how and why did you become the king of wearing horizontal stripes? I just love horizontal stripes. They look kind of European and classic and they never go out of style. So that's why I love wearing stripes. Nika Zatkova asks, what are the pros and cons of being a YouTuber and sharing your passion? Pros and cons, there are a lot of pros. I mean, having you guys, you lovely people in this community, that's probably the biggest pro. Cons, it takes a lot of time to film and edit a video, but because there's so many lovely people watching it, it motivates me to keep making them. Shantae Piper asks, do you have a girlfriend, boyfriend? Yes, have you ever met Peggy, my stand mixer? Marie Twafa asks, have you been to New Zealand before? If you answer this, can you say hi Marie? Thanks. Hi Marie, I've not been to New Zealand, but I do want to go there. Abbas Raza asks, Do you like how to cake it? I love how to cake it. Yolanda is absolutely hilarious. Misfit Dan Nicole asks, what are the baking conversions? So all of my recipes are in grams and mils. I've made a whole video explaining why I do that. I have a recipe conversion guide on my website. I recommend you buy a pair of kitchen scales. If you're a kid, beg your parents for it. Make it your birthday or your Christmas present. If you're an adult, go and buy a pair of kitchen scales. They are absolutely priceless, and it is essential that you get your measurements exact when you're making pastries. Cup measurements just aren't as accurate. Emma Blomqvist, what's your advice for someone who wants to follow in your footsteps and do what they love for a living? So I'm a massive fan of Steve Jobs. He's one of my heroes, someone who I look up to. He has this fantastic quote about finding what you love. It goes, the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you'll know when you find it. So I've had a lot of crappy jobs and I was very unhappy for a long time with what I was doing. I kept on looking, I kept on studying, and I finally found what I think I'm supposed to be doing. So I guess my advice would be to keep looking and you'll know when you find what you're supposed to be doing. Renilda De Leon asks, what is the equipment and software you use in filming and editing your videos? So I have a list of what I use on my website, but basically I use Final Cut Pro to edit my videos, and I have a Canon 70D camera, which is what is filming this video right now. I have a mic here. So it's very basic equipment. You don't need amazing equipment to make videos. You've got your phone, it's got a camera on it, point it and make some videos. Kirsten Worth asks, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Illy so much. Thank you so much, Kirsten. Illy so much to you as well. I don't know where I see myself in 10 years. I've learned in my lifetime that if I make plans, it never works out the way that I think it's gonna work out, and it works out to be something completely different and beautiful. John asks, what type of ice cream scoop do you use to fill your cupcake liners and how large is it? First of all, John, I checked out your channel and it is hilarious. I love the videos you make. So I have the measurements for my scoop. I can't remember them off the top of my head right now. The measurements are on my website, but the most important thing is that you fill your cupcake liners 3/4 of the way, unless I say to fill it up differently in a recipe. The ice cream scoop doesn't matter as much, but I say that it's kind of a medium to large, but again, the measurements are on my website. Ship758 asks, if you have any siblings, would you have them in a video? I do have siblings and I will eventually persuade my little brother to be in a video with me. Camilla Abner asks, if you could meet Beyonce and you only had one question to ask her, what would it be? By the way, I love you so much and you're so inspiring as a baker, and just a whole bunch of heart emojis after that. How Beyonce? How are you Beyonce? Orit Ganama asks, what is your origin? I'm Australian, I live in Melbourne. A lot of people ask me, they either think I'm British, but I am from Melbourne, Australia. Tessa Hall, what made you want to start YouTube? Laura Vitale. If you don't know who Laura Vitale is, go and look up Laura in the Kitchen. She is a huge inspiration behind the Scran Line. Flora Girl, how old are you? I am 30 years young. Marcelo Leet asks, are you single? Love from Brazil. Well, Marcelo, I am a single lady, and I'm a single lady. Megan Bosnight asks, would you ever consider writing a cookbook? Smiley face. I get this question so much and I kind of tease you guys with it a couple of weeks ago. It's my own fault. I'm not making a cookbook yet. I will make a cookbook for you guys, but it's not the right time for me. I have a whole bunch of things I need to do before that. Trent V asks, favorite Disney movie? Lion King. I have a man crush on Simba. Pawn Shop Blues, has baking always been a part of your life, or is it newfound passion? Baking in some way has always been a part of my life. I grew up watching my mum and my grandma cook. They love to bake. I love to bake, and I think that's where I got it from. Princessa Mariposa 23 asks, hi Nick, I discovered you recently on Yolanda's channel and I would like to know, have you ever been to Spain? Big hug from Madrid. You're amazing, by the way. Thank you. I have been to Spain. I went to Barcelona about 4 years ago and loved it. Skylar Garcia asks, if you could bake cupcakes or cakes for anyone in the world, who would it be and how would you design your cake cupcake? Love your channel and your bright personality. I recently had the amazing experience and pleasure of baking for Yolanda Gamp, and there's a bit in the video, if you haven't watched it already, it's on my channel, mint choc chip freak shake cupcakes. Her reaction when she bit into it was my favorite thing ever. I've baked for Yolanda Gamp, I can say that now. Jello Bean, what made you want to start baking? Any tips for a future baker? I guess I found my love of baking from when I watched my grandma and my mum cook. Tips for bakers: be really passionate, cook with love, because the people who are eating what you make for them, they'll see it in the details, they'll taste it. Cooking with love is so important. Alexandra Kami asks, hi Nick, I think you're one of the kindest, most loving YouTubers in the history of YouTube itself. That's a little bit dramatic. I really admire and love all the baking creations, next line, and I just wanted to ask, if baking was not your passion, what do you see yourself doing at this moment? For those of you who don't know, I have a background in design. I trained as a graphic designer, I worked as a graphic designer, and I use those skills on this channel. So I guess I would probably be a graphic designer. Chessie Longland asks, hey Nick, what is your opinion on the Great British Bake Off? Love your videos. Thank you so much, is it Chessie? Okay, I haven't watched that show, so I don't really know. I'm not a massive fan of TV, and I don't really like TV reality shows, to be honest. Edwin Blanco asks, what is your favorite color? Green. Alan Lee asks, what is your favorite YouTube video that you have made for YouTube? I made a video with my grandma that is on my YouTube channel. That is my favorite YouTube video that I've ever made, and probably will always be my favorite video. So I sat down with her in her garden. It was the last year that she ever had a garden. She loved her garden, and I just asked her a whole bunch of questions. It's really, really interesting, so I recommend you guys go watch it. Another anime top channel asks, have you ever thought about opening your own bakery, or do you already have one? I have thought about it. You guys ask me all the time. Again, like the cookbook, it's not the right time yet, but I will and do want to open up a bakery. Tonakon Dalaviz, I'm probably not saying that right, I'm so sorry. Please make a maple bacon breakfast cupcake. It would be so good. It's on my list. It is on my list. You guys have been requesting it so much. It is on my list. Abdul Moti Diab, why won't you make a watermelon cupcake? It's been so overdone, and I know you guys will love it, but I want to make a watermelon cupcake that is completely different to how everyone else has made one, and I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So when I do, I will make you guys a watermelon cupcake. Audrey Salas asks, could you please give us your best American accent? Yo. Hania Iqbal asks, do you like rich chocolate? The richest. I love chocolate. Chite Rabi asks, have you ever been to France? I'm French and I love your videos. Thank you so much. I've been to France, and I went there about 4 years ago. Paris, I spent 2 weeks in Paris, is the reason why I decided to be a pastry chef. Wealth is of the Mind asks, you honestly deserve more subscribers. What is your proudest accomplishment so far? There's been a lot of really awesome accomplishments. Getting to meet Elise from My Cupcake Addiction and film with her. We just did a collab. It's up on her channel if you want to go watch it. She is one of the most lovely, hardworking queens of baking on YouTube, and getting to meet Yolanda Gamp, getting to chat with you guys in the comment section and making videos for you guys and hearing the lovely feedback. I think that my YouTube channel as a whole has been probably my proudest accomplishment, or one of my proudest accomplishments. Okay, all right, so this is another question from Pawn Shop Blues. I couldn't leave this one out. If you had to choose between meeting your subscribers or meeting the people you're subscribed to, what would you pick? Okay, guys, this is a really hard one to answer because if I got the chance to meet Laura Vitale and I wasn't ever allowed to meet any of you guys, I don't know what I would do. Nancy Sandvol asks, favorite smell? Freshly baked cupcakes is a pretty good smell. I have that smell in my kitchen pretty much all the time. Matthias Camacho asks, what are the size of your cupcake liners? So I can't remember off the top of my head, but I have that on my website. A lot of people asked what the brand is. I use a brand called Confetta. They're based in Sydney. I think you might be able to order them online. They're really, really good papers. Measurements are on my website. Amy wishes, can you draw your life with chocolate? Amy, I'm afraid that if I use chocolate to draw my life, it would not look like chocolate. Sondre Salamonson asks, before you started YouTube, did you have a job as a baker? Sorry for my English, I'm from Norway. I would love to go to Norway, by the way, and your English is perfect. I did have a job as a baker. I worked as a baker for 2 years and I made some awesome friends in that job. One of them being the lady who taught me everything I know about baking. Her name is Maggie and we're going to be doing a video together coming up soon. So look out for that. Paris Trahan asks, did you go to cooking, baking school, or are you self-taught? I love you, Nick. Thank you so much, Paris. I love your name, by the way. I went to cooking school for a year. I hated every second of it. I decided to take a break and go to Europe for 3 months, spent my last 2 weeks in Paris, and came back and decided I needed to be a pastry chef. Fit Angie S asks, what's the hardest dessert you've ever made, Nick? Angie, I see you in the comments all the time and I absolutely love and appreciate your love and support. Hardest dessert I've ever made, my mum's cream caramel. She makes an amazing cream caramel. She makes it every Easter and Christmas and it is incredible, but it can be a little bit tricky to get perfect. Vampire 3 Girl asks, when you started YouTube, did you ever thought that you'll get this far, that you'll reach 100,000 subs? I didn't know what to expect when I started YouTube. I watched Laura Vitale's channel for like 3 or 4 years before I started the Scran Line. I started the Scran Line because I thought, that looks like a lot of fun. I want to do what she's doing. It has evolved since then. If you look at my earlier videos, they are very, very different. My very first video is my mum's tiramisu recipe, which is incredible, by the way. You guys should go and make that. But I think I looked like a robot in that video and I didn't even smile the entire video. My channel has evolved and I really didn't know where it was going to go, but I'm so happy and grateful that it's gotten this far. Alika26 asks, you're the best, I wish this is not a question, but you're the best, I wish I met you. Thank you so much, and you're the best, and hopefully I get to meet you one day. Angelina Velasquez asks, can your cupcake recipes be converted to cakes? I get this question all the time, and yes, they can be converted to cakes. I have instructions in probably my last 20 videos. I added little notes in the recipe. You can make it into 2-inch, well, my vanilla cupcakes can be made into 2 8-inch cakes. Bake them on 180 degrees Celsius for about 25 to 30 minutes and you can make them into cakes. I've got instructions on how to do my other cupcake flavors into cakes as well. Will you do something Harry Potter themed? From Nicole Teo. I have an idea for a Harry Potter cupcake. Alon Garman asks, when are you doing a kitchen tour? I told you guys months ago that I was going to do a kitchen tour. It's probably almost like 4 or 5 months ago. I've just been super lazy and busy at the same time, and I do want to do a kitchen tour. I will do one eventually, but I don't know when that's going to be. Dimi Carr asks, are you from Greece? Because that's what your name tells me and I'm Greek too. Hi Dimi, I think your name is Dimitra, right? I speak Greek. So I'm not from Greece, I'm from Australia. I have a Greek background. Simone Bedria Kabdala asks, what is your favorite song from Beyonce's Lemonade album? Sorry, I think that's my favorite song. It's really hard to choose. Like, the whole album is good. You know, the only song I don't like is the one she did with Jack White. Not a massive fan. Lee Ann Joy asks, if you are given the chance to have $1 million in a day, you have to spend it all before the end of the day or else things you're able to buy will disappear. What are the things that you will buy? $1 million. I would probably spend it all on butter, sugar, eggs and flour to make you lovely people some cupcakes, and then I would invite you to a park and we'd have a big cupcake party and Beyonce would be there because I have $1 million. Actually, she probably costs more than $1 million. Alexandria Armin asks, have you ever thought about getting a Snapchat? Alexandria, I'm not a massive fan of Snapchat. I've tried it, I just can't figure it out. I feel old when I use it. I don't see the point. You know what though? Instagram just did something really sneaky and created their own version of Snapchat. So I've been doing some Instagram stories for you guys. So if you're not following me on Instagram already, at the Scran Line, follow me. I put lots of nice, pretty pictures on there. Catherine Longland asks, congrats on the milestone. Thank you, Catherine. Nick, my question to you is, what is your weirdest dream you've had? Okay, I've had lots of weird dreams. Now, one of the dreams that I keep on having is I'm in a city. It feels like a really, really big city with tall buildings. It's dark, it's nighttime, and there's Godzilla is going around the city and he's terrorizing everyone. And the dream ends when I hide in a box and Godzilla is like a big cardboard box, and he's walking down the street and he's almost near me, and that's when the weird dream ends. Arana86 asks, what's your favorite Greek food and could you do a cupcake with a Greek flavor? Ευχαριστώ πολύ, which is thank you very much. I love Greek food. It's really hard for me to choose what my favorite Greek food is. I can't go past my grandma or my mum's freshly baked bread and my grandma or my mum's tzatziki. I have a recipe for it on my channel. It is incredible. It is amazing. I could eat it all day, every day. Orit Ganama asks, would you bake with Catherine Sabbath? In a heartbeat. In fact, I'm getting close. You know, she liked one of my posts on Instagram and I fangirled a little bit. So, you know, we're like besties. We're besties, pretty much. Claire Bear asks, where do you get your piping bags and piping tips from? I've just subscribed and I'm already in love. Thank you so much. So Claire, I use the Cake Boss. Actually, it's right there behind the camera. Cake Boss piping bags. I just use them because they're easily available for me. But basically you can use any kind of piping bag. If you don't have piping bags, you can use like a Ziploc bag and just snip the end off and you can put a piping tip in that. My piping tips, most of them are Wilton brand piping tips. You can get them online at Amazon or you can buy them from your local cake supply store. Some kitchen stores have them as well. Olivia Hanton asks, what food dye do you use and where do you get it? I use mostly Americolor. I buy it online or there's a store close to me which sells it really, really cheap. If you're in Australia, you can get it from Spotlight. If you're in America, you might be able to find it at Michael's. Maybe Target stocks it. Molly Skipsy asks, do you edit and produce your videos by yourself? I love the piping on the icing shot at the end of each of the videos. So beautiful. Also love the logo and intro animation. Thank you so much, Molly. Yes, I do all of the filming and editing. I do everything myself, the photographing. I do the research and development and the design of the cupcakes. I do all of that myself. Mystical asks, how does it feel to now have 106,000 subscribers? So at the time of this, obviously I had 106. We're up to 130, which is awesome. It feels amazing. Okay guys, so I think I've finally gotten through as many questions as I can handle. There are a lot of duplicate questions, so if I didn't mention your name, don't worry. I probably answered your question. If I didn't answer your question, there were a lot of questions and this video is probably gonna go for 30 minutes. So if you've gotten to the end of this video, congratulations, you've achieved something amazing. If you did, I want you to leave a little, what emoji could we use? I want you guys to leave an emoji, a little bumblebee emoji for Beyonce in the comments. If you got to the end of this video, leave a bumblebee emoji in the comment section and I'll know that you're a dedicated fan of the Scran Line. Thank you so much to all the people who asked questions. If I didn't answer your question, save it for the next video. I'll do another one when we reach 200. But thanks so much for watching, guys. And I'm so grateful. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next Q&A.